If you live somewhere tropical, then there's a good chance you've been warned about crocodiles. These reptiles live around Southeast America as well as parts of Asia, Africa, and Australia. Wherever there are wetlands and swamps, you can be certain a crocodile is nearby. Crocodiles are apex predators. They can swim up to 20 miles per hour and hold their breath underwater for up to 1 hour. This gives them the perfect opportunity to pounce on unsuspecting prey like pigs, birds, and other small animals. In this video, we've collected 5 dangerous crocodile attacks that were caught on camera. If you enjoy this video, then make sure to subscribe for more and also drop a like down below. Before you click away, don't worry. Everyone in these videos turned out fine, and we're not going to show you anything too gruesome. Hopefully, you'll learn some lessons from these videos and realize crocodiles are not to be trifled with, even if you think you're being safe. Another disclaimer. While we've talked about crocodiles thus far, a few gators also made the list. We're an equal opportunity reptile video series. So, without further ado, let's dive in. Fred Boyce, a North Carolina scientist at the Pine Knolls Shore Aquarium, was off duty when he spotted a 10-foot-long alligator. He contacted the proper authorities, but they were still a couple of hours away. Not content with standing by, Boyce decided to take matters into his own hands. He threw a piece of cloth over the gator's head and eyes. This is a common technique used to subdue gators because when they can't see where they're going, they tend to calm down a bit. Unfortunately, this particular gator was in no mood to compromise. The video shows Boyce approaching the gator, and right when he's over the animal, the gator pounces.
Approaching the gator, but Boyce had bitten off more than he could chew. The alligator attacked him, nearly ripping his arm from his body. Boyce was rushed to the hospital. The gator finally wrangled and returned to the wild.
The gator manages to take a bite out of Boyce, but let's go. Honestly, he's incredibly lucky to have made it out of that situation with his arm still attached. Gators have a bite strength of roughly 1,500 pounds per square inch, which is enough to bite through steel. Later, in an interview, Boyce had the chance to talk about the incident. First and foremost, he assured viewers his arm was a-okay.
The arm is fine. Actually, it feels perfectly fine. The alligator was actually very nice, let me off easy compared to what he could have done.
He continues by trying to make sense of what was going through his head at the time. He did do some work as a professional gator wrangler, but it was still an ill-advised move.
It's a question I still haven't really figured out myself, especially during the time it was all going on. Things kind of progressed rapidly, and I think I was thinking how embarrassed I'm going to be by all this, probably more than anything else. This is not good, and of course I thought I was just performing for a small group of first responders and deputy sheriffs. Performing is not really the right word either, but I thought that was the only people there. So little did I know, I still haven't quite clued into this digital age that we live in and the idea that people have video cameras.
All in all, Fred Boyce should count his blessings. That situation easily could have turned south, so a few bite marks was getting off easy. Tip to the wise. If you have an entire crowd of people telling you to back off from a crocodile, you should probably listen. For one photographer in Costa Rica, that simply wasn't an option. We don't have a ton of details from this video, but as you can see from the start of the video, a man is taking pictures of some nearby crocs. While we're sure the photos are pristine, he's getting a little too close for comfort. As soon as the crocodiles are close to shore, someone appears to throw some food or a piece of trash at the animals. Still, the photographer doesn't seem to mind. Even after witnessing several crocodiles thrashing in the water, the photographer remains in his spot. However, the crocs are angry now, and one comes onto the shore to greet its guest. The photographer finally gets the hint to leave his spot, and he quickly lunges back up the cliff. Someone throws another object toward the crocodile to distract it, and the man gets away safely. If that croc had been just a little bit faster, then who knows what would have happened. Luckily, he wasn't taking pictures by himself. Having a crowd there to alert him that a crocodile was approaching most definitely played a factor in him making it out of there alive. Maybe next time, he'll keep his distance when he's trying to capture those sweet wildlife photos. It perhaps shouldn't come as too much of a surprise to learn that many tourists flock to tropical areas every year and end up taking crocodile tours. A tour guide takes you around the wetland, and if you're lucky, you may just see a croc or two. It's kind of like whale watching, except the thing you want to see has razor-sharp teeth and isn't afraid to get up close and personal when it feels threatened. One day, while on the Adelaide River Northern Territory Croc Tour, a tour guide is telling the people on board about the local wildlife. You can even see a crocodile for yourself at the beginning of the video.
This animal's carrying out. It's got flight, direction, speed, elevation, angle, collision avoidance that it's going through. Then it's got target acquisition and knowing that target as well, and avoidance of all the other.
However, now would be a good point to impart on you a little bit of wisdom. When you're in the wilderness, don't worry about the crocodiles you can see. Worry about the ones you can't see. Out of nowhere, another crocodile enters the frame, leaps up, and tries to take a bite out of the tour guide.
Wow. That's why I said you just gotta watch yourself all the time.
Luckily, the tour guide wasn't leaning directly against the railing, so he manages to avoid becoming croc food. It's not every day you get to see a crocodile that up close, so we're guessing the tourists really felt like they got their money's worth that day. In all of the previous videos, everyone made it out relatively okay. Even Fred Boyce only suffered minor injuries and felt better shortly after his attack. Unfortunately, the same cannot be said about this next man. We are not going to show you the full video because it is definitely not for the squeamish, but you can let your imagination fill in the blanks. The video begins with a man taunting the crocodile. He places his hand on the crocodile's snout and tells it to stand up for him and smile.
Chester, come on, buddy. Stand up for me. Smile.
Angel Services, do you copy, Katie?
Smile, buddy. He's already had a two-person day.
So far so good, as the crocodile just stands there with its mouth agape. The camera pans up, and we see this man is in front of a crowd, maybe trying to give them a good show. It's not long until the man gets his first and only warning. He places his hand inside the croc's mouth, and the animal snaps its jaws shut. Luckily, the man pulled his hand away just in the nick of time. But honestly, he really should have quit while he was ahead.
Do we want photo recording this?
The man finishes by patting the crocodile a few more times before again reinserting his hand into the animal's mouth.
Stay low. You're gonna go in just above the bottom jaw.
We're not going to show you that fateful moment, but the crocodile slams shut on the man's hand, and that's when the video ends. Naturally, all you can hear is screaming at the end, and we are certain that guy is never going to get near a crocodile ever again. The last video is a little shaky, but that kind of makes it all the more terrifying. It begins with a man looking as though he's about to jump into an embankment. Right off the bat, a crocodile appears and leaves the man between a rock and a hard place. The man tries to climb away, but that croc is right on his tail. Luckily for the guy, the crocodile is unable to climb up the surface of the cliff. It seems as though some sticks prevented the beast from getting any closer. After watching this video, we only have one question in mind. Why was the cameraman filming instead of helping the guy? Thankfully, no one was hurt, and now we have this footage as a reminder to never try to go swimming in waters where crocodiles might appear. Crocodiles are vicious beasts. Even if you feel like showing off to your friends, you never want to attempt getting near one. it could prove to be a disastrous mistake. Let us know what caught on camera videos you want to see next by leaving some suggestions in the comments down below. Our favorites will be pinned and featured in that video. With that said, thanks for watching this episode of Underworld, and we'll catch you in the next one.